Hey Facebook family, welcome back to Functional Movement Friday. We're here today with Miss Katie Gray, who Katie was a high-level gymnast, college track athlete, did pole vaulting, right? And now does sports performance training. She's a personal trainer, sports performance. So today we're going to talk to you all about lower cross syndrome, which, if you come follow me right over this way, lower cross syndrome is a very common syndrome that people who are sitting most of the day can run into. What happens in lower cross syndrome is we have this crossing over pattern where the thoracolumbar muscles here are tight, as well as the hip flexors being tight from sitting. There's weak abdominal muscles and weak gluteal muscles. So what happens as a result of this is we see the pelvis actually tilt forward in this direction, kind of like this. So we'll have this pelvis tilt forward because there's weakness here and here, and there's tightness there that's causing that clockwise motion when we're looking at this person from the right side. So back to Miss Katie. Katie, who had a hip flexor, so what you tore first your labrum, then was the second tear.
And the hip flexor.
Then what happened after that?
Subluxated knee.
And now, what's going on in the low back off to the side?
Just SI joint pain.
So, torn labrum on the right side, torn hip flexor, subluxated the patella on the right side, and then right SI joint dysfunction. So we talk about functional movement patterns, so important for everyday life. But Katie, who's a high-level athlete, when this happened, you were doing, how many hours were you training a week when that was going on, the first injury?
First injury, about 20 hours a week.
So about 20 hours a week. So just that repetitive motion, that pounding. And as a gymnast, Katie, I'd like you to face me, and we're talking about the finishing move. So after you finish a movement, go ahead and show us what would it look like. There. So hold that position. So you see what's occurring here. There's a lot of that anterior pelvic tilt. All right, you can come out of that. Now, the other part we're talking about is when Katie was pole vaulting, the method of the pole vaulting is that you would have to drive. Which leg were you driving?
Step off this leg, drive with the other.
Okay, so, and just doing that just over and over and over again, torn labrum, torn hip flexor, the body's compensating, trying to keep up, messing up the right knee and right SI. So all of this has led to the SI joint dysfunction and that lower cross syndrome. People who are sitting all day long, what will happen is we're in this position, the knee is bent at 90 degrees, and the hips bent 90 degrees, so all day long you're in that position. You got to stand up, and you're in that lower cross syndrome. So we have a couple of fun stretches and exercises that we like to prescribe to our patients to help offset this. We're just going to show you a few today. Some you'll recognize, and some might be new. So one of the first ones we're going to do is the splits on the bed. So Katie, if you'll just assume that position. We showed this with Megan a couple videos ago. This is just going to be a recap. And so basically, Katie's going to press up and try to engage the glute. And she's pretty flexible here, so you got some hyperextension. We're going to try not to hyperextend too much, and she should feel, you feel in the front of that hip flexor for you. So with that, 30 seconds is the hold, okay? Let's go right into the bridge. The next one we're going to do is the bridge. So Katie's going to bend her knees so her feet are flat on the ground, and she's going to peel one vertebrae up at a time. Excellent. Go one at a time. Go back down. Awesome. Let's do another one. So she's engaging here first. She's squeezing the glutes the whole time, and then back down. So we're getting a good glute squeeze, and there is some abdominal motion occurring as well. Let's go into the plank, Katie. The next one we're going to do is your plank. So Katie's doing a great job of keeping this nice and flat. All right, everything's good, and she's engaged in the core. So this is a great motion and great movement here. All right, you can come out of that, Katie. So we have plank, we have the bridge. The other thing we can do is a standing bridge. So from the side, Katie, if you'll face that way, what she's gonna do is just so almost go into like that bad position and then engage in the glutes and tuck them underneath. So she's tucking her pelvis underneath, good. And she would do that for reps, okay? Now, the only other one we're gonna do is the hip hinge. So this is the deadlift, the back position for the deadlift. She's gonna set her hips back first, go ahead. Excellent. Go ahead, back up, and she's squeezing the glutes at the end of that motion. Oh, yeah, you can do one more. Good, setting hips back, and then squeezing the glutes up at the top. Perfect. Thank you, ma'am. So, we have the hip hinge, splits on the bed, bridges, planks. All those are gonna help to engage in the abdominal muscles, engage in the glutes, and then hopefully stretch a little bit here. I know we didn't do much in the way of stretching for the thoracolumbar junction like we looked at on the chart, but last week we showed you with Megs that Bretzel 2.0. If you go to our video from last Functional Movement Friday, when Megs is twisting and turning, that's when we prescribed to Katie, and she loves it. She's giving it to her clients love it, so we highly recommend that one as well. Katie, would you like to add anything?
I think you got it all.
All right, awesome. So guys, thanks for joining us for Functional Movement Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. High five, dude. Good job.